Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Crusty Old Crow. Apparently Porkbelly is here as well. Doing a tactical perspective today. Oh my Jesus, that's a bad hinge. On number 125 of G.I. Joe Classified 6-inch series Gnawgahyde. Moreover, Dreadnok Gnawgahyde, his for Porkbelly, and his pet monkey, Yobbo, whatever you want to call it. This set right here that comes with this action figure here, which of course made it to Australia well before I took off to Joe Fest, but that's where I was first saw it. Somebody had a certain little box full of figures that they had gotten from abroad just before Joe Fest, and it was Gnawgahyde. So I had seen the body sculpt before, not so much the kit, or perhaps I wouldn't have been so looking forward to it. Senses something about the review, do you? Possibly. So yeah, we've got Gnawgahyde. We got that call from GameStop yesterday, the one where on the way back I got to witness a drunk driver accident. Awesome day yesterday, sure. But today, no more accidents. That's great. So I decided I was going to do this review, but guess what? I got another call. Turns out this isn't the only Dreadnok we be reviewing this week. Okay, so there's your back of the box. You can see he's got all his kit load out there. You can see he's not sporting his hunting rifle on the figure anywhere. It's one of these nuances. Well, Hasbro, I have the solution for you on to where that rifle should have shown up. So you could have gotten every little piece of kit onto this photo. But they wanted you to pay attention to that tattoo on the side of his head, on Porkbelly's studded nose ring, and on the fact that he's got someone's dog tags, probably some Joe dog tags, underneath that tooth necklace there. All right, on the side, we've got those primary combat functions, those PCF icons or whatever the Hasbro wants to pretend they are, and a QR code, which I will, one day soon, do another check to make sure that it absolutely has no relevance to this figure. There's your side art, and you can, pretty nice little picture there. He's got all three characters in one shot there. And he's looking as bad as ever with that underbite. Pardon me, underbite. Okay, legal gobbledygook and box is done. It came with the plastic coffin wrapping, which I have already taken the liberty of undoing. Like I said, I did get a sneak peek of this character. Somebody allowed me to take a peek at it earlier, and it didn't reveal any of the secrets that I wish I didn't know now. All right, I am going to do the head to toe on this. I am going to do the file card just like every other tactical perspective review I do. But lately, you see, I've been kind of just voicing over. I find that a lot easier to share this stuff with you guys. But I am going to give you a quick countdown on the kit. With this figure, because it'll just be shown on the thing, and I might not talk about it, you're going to get the sniper rifle repaint of Lowlight. Okay, it's a fine sniper rifle, and a kit bag that, if yours is anything like mine, will automatically pop open after 3 seconds. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro. Oh, let's try in French. Un, deux, trois, quatre. All right, so you can see I've got a problem there. The hat was the one piece that worked out well. No problems with the hat. Hey, mate, that's not a hat. This is a hat. Wait, no, that's Crocodile Dundee. It's not even right. The big wobbly aluminum foil fighting blade that I didn't straighten with a hairdryer yet, but I will. Really interesting close combat weapon until you realize he's holding it with a couple of pieces of rope attached to him. You would be better off to just hold it in your hand there, Gnawgahyde, but hey, you do you. We'll do us, all right? This backpack conundrum for the crossbow, or for the compound bow he got, is a very interesting piece of kit in that it's functional in so many ways it becomes a mess. I like it, but I don't like manipulating it, okay? One, it's meant to be on the side, on a side sling like that, a little bit, but sorry, more to the other side. And the reason I say that is because there's a little holster on the side of the quiver. Let me remove the bow from its C-clamp there. We'll talk about the bow later. But this little holster there is for Yobbo's tail, as best as I can tell, so he can sit on Gnawgahyde's shoulder the way he does, okay? So specifically for that, of course, we've got this weird suppressor thing attachment that I just then sprawling over here, which attaches to the compound bow. Now, I don't know why they bothered with the C-clamp to hold this compound bow on there. But now I've got to get that little gummy silencer, whatever it is there, back on there. This thing is so gummy, it would have stuck to the bottom of Gnawgahyde's shoe if he wanted it to. I have never seen a gummier piece of kit than this. Now, it's probably a mixed blessing because it's not at all brittle and there's a lot of fine stringy pieces here, so you can do some stuff and stretch it out. And that's probably where they wanted the logic to be before it. But man, this thing gets the sun on it. It's like droopy droop, droopy droop. Cialis time before hunting. Okay, so we've got that. And then you've got your one arrow, which you can see on mine. You can see all that stress fracture from trying to slide that in. It was so tight, and I didn't appreciate how I was holding it. I thought it would just slip in like a storm shadow or even any of the other arrows we've dealt with in this line, and this one just went buckle, buckle, buckle. And I was like, okay, stop. Not messing with that no more. So we've got that, and you can see Yobbo on there. If you watched our live at the Backyard Battlefield last night with me, Aaron the Toy Enhancer, and 3-Star Draw on 3-Star Draw's channel, you would hear and see a demonstration on how to remove Yobbo from the package without ripping the tail out of his anus. Okay? But people have been tearing Yobbo's tail out, and you need Yobbo's tail to hook into the backpack, apparently. Another piece of kit is the boar. Yeah, we're getting used to the Jozu, the pets. Very articulate boar, very nicely detailed. No complaints there. If ever I wanted a boar, this would probably be the boar I want. I just don't really know if I cared to have a boar. But I guess you take the boar with Gnawgahyde, right? And Gnawgahyde, if you want Gnawgahyde, you got to have the boar. It's not something I would have personally wanted to fund a lot of money into, but it is part of the character set, right? It's like Law and Order. Mutton don't care. Gnawgahyde, Porkbelly. It is what it is, right? But just an odd animal. And, you know, that's probably not a popular view. And I can take it or leave it, right? It doesn't really matter. He's got a pair of hunting knives here. I'm not even going to put that fully in his hand. We'll just act like he's showing you. Gnawgahyde, go show him your knife, you buck-toothed son of a bitch. I got knives. And then sad tattoo. All right, there. I have no idea where Gnawguy's from. I'm assuming Australia. We'll find out on the file card. Let's get to reading the file card soon. But first, I just want to show you those tattoos. Ooh, boss, the tattoo. An Anarchy. Were you at the Anarchy meeting? I did not see you there. Make sure to get the Anarchy newsletter to find out what you missed. All right, we'll put that back in here. Look at that. I did that with his own hand. Oh, that's smooth. I like the articulation on the figure. I actually like the figure itself, the buck, the whole deal, right? I like him right there. And then I find him difficult to like after this. Okay, let's talk about that as we change scenery and do something interesting. And if you like interesting and find this stuff interesting, you could do the like. You could do the share. You could do subscribe and get those notifications. It's absolutely free, and I keep doing this stuff all day. It's been a year and some. And I'll do my best to get back at a more regular routine now that we've changed locations. But more guys to follow up, clearly, as you'll see in the picture shows, right? All right, let's go over and have another look at him. All right, here's what's happened. I have screwed up in doing some editing and taking a few clips out here and there, and now the voiceovers don't match how I had them when they were spinning. So I'm just going to fill this spot in rather than try and tweak everything. And anything left over at the back, I'll just put some more pictures up. But what you're going to hear is my review and narrative on Gnawgahyde, totally out of sync with the images you're going to see. So, good luck. I apologize. Hopefully it's not a complete and utter disaster. So we'll we'll just get Gnawgahyde to do his little spinny spin here as he loads his compound bow, his silenced compound bow, with a single fragile arrow. I like the sculpt of everything. I'm not a big fan of the material of it, but I get the softness of it. Gnawgahye's overall balance and articulation were fine. The vest doesn't really bend, cause any problem with that torso bend. I just didn't bend the torso forward for this pose. And I probably should have, but I wanted to just open up that chest a bit so you could see everything. The hat, I think, is the finest feature of the head. I think the whole head looks good. He's got this underbite and those mutton chops. Definitely has a bit of a touch of the dum-dum look on his face going on there, and then the big snake tattoo on the side, which you'll see in other shots where he doesn't have his head on there. It's a fine sculpt. I do like the necklace, the tooth necklace, and the dog tags to just lend this air of danger about him. Like, he is a poacher, he's a swine, he's scum, but I think it's all good there. Let's pop that file card up and have a look and see what it says before I forget about that thing entirely. So it'll tell you that Gnawgahyde, the Dreadnok poacher, could have single-handedly decimated the herds of the endangered species of Africa, all of them, if his fellow poachers hadn't railroaded him off the continent for cheating at cards, being generally obnoxious and smelling bad. He was subsisting on his earnings as a freelance fur stealer when he was recruited by Dreadnoks at an all-night donut and grape soda shop. He takes his hunting and tracking very seriously. Gnawgahyde won't bathe for a month before he goes out into the bush, so the animals will not smell the soap on his body. He greases himself up with rancid hog fat and eats what he can trap and shoot in the wild. Gnawgahyde does this so that the chemical additives of the processed foods won't alter his body chemistry and scare off the game with a too human of a scent. It's a good thing he is basically antisocial. Alright, so as file cards go, I'll say it, that one's pretty weak. I mean, to have the other poachers turn on him because he smells bad and cheats at cards as opposed to just kill him, well, there's your kitty toy right there, right? But the rest of it is kind of silly. Nonetheless, there's no mention of Yobbo or Porkbelly in the file card, so yeah, you gotta wonder what it made them redeeming that he wasn't gonna kill them or eat them, you know. They probably help him flush out prey. They're all as conniving as he is. And I will get around to showing you a trick that Yobbo brings to the table, Porkbelly brings to the table as part of kit issue problems. But the Porkbelly is very articulate. If you've got the Timber or the Rottweiler or any of the Joe pets, you're starting to get down that they can do quite a few things. There's lots of leg articulation right down to the hooves there, and his jaw does open. He's got a 3-part neck piece, like the torso, the neck, and then the head, and then the jaw, and then his hindquarters, which move independently, and I guess that tail probably moves as well. He's got some jewelry adorning his face, and it's all good. Yobbo, the monkey, once you get him out of the package, if you were careful with that tail, you'll notice he also has an eye patch, like he's some sort of monkey pirate, I believe. Savage looking little pickpocket, probably got a big story to him. Would have loved to have seen something about him in the file card, but you can pose him pretty easily like he's riding on Porkbelly, probably a lot easier than slinging his tail through a hoop and putting him on the back of Gnawgahyde and trying to make that work for every other pose that you can think of. So let's have a little peek at some more of the kit that Gnawgahyde carts around with him besides bad dentistry. You can see with the hat off now, you got a good look at the tattoo on the side of his head, but we've talked about most of that stuff. The vest is beautiful, that cheetah skin, open in the front, like I said, so that you can make out the bare-chestedness. The man manscapes clearly, but also they didn't bother with the buckles across the front to limit that forward bend. The arm tattoos, you can see those on their own, the anarchy and the cheetah or cat or whatever it is, death whatever tattoo. But the weapons, he's got 2 fighting knives. One stores in the boot, one stores in that nice matching skin belt on the back of his belt that matches his vest. And that you can see that bow is using that C-clamp on the back to hang on to the quiver, as is its little silencer extension. So that's pretty much all there is with the additional kit besides that low-light sniper rifle, which we're going to have a look at, aren't we? Let's do that. And so look at him sporting this thing like it's a new piece of kit. It does work with the character. It's absolutely the correct piece of kit for a poacher, I guess, for sure. It's a damn shame that they didn't have the freedom of movement to do maybe a few differences on this rifle to maybe make it work in the same case overall. This case that I'm placing down on his feet, because there's nowhere else to place it really except one other spot I'll show you later. I've also laid his knife on top of that case because what are you supposed to do with that when he's trying to use the rifle properly? Same as the bow, right? Maybe that does go into the sheath on the side of the backpack, but I can't see how with those ropes in the way. Anyways, the sniper rifle, it's that same, 1, 2, 3, I think it's 4 pieces, all locks into a case. My case springs open. I've heard it's not the only one that does that. But I'm not a big fan of having the little pieces that you have to attach to the rifle. I get the storytelling fun and all that other stuff that can go with that, but really for me it's just pieces that might get knocked, fall on the ground, tumble out upon opening. I just have the worst luck with these small things. But I like the feel of the character with that rifle and with that bow for sure. I like Gnawgahyde's loadout 100%. I think it's the finest loadout he could have gotten, honestly. But like I said, the question gets begged. Where does he store this rifle? Well, this is where Porkbelly comes in. He's going to have to cart that rifle around everywhere for him, right? It's bad enough he's got to carry the monkey from time to time and flush out the prey. Bad enough he's got to get nervous when Gnawgahyde goes a couple of days skipping meals and starts looking at him while licking his chops. Now he's got to cart around this heavy-ass sniper rifle. Or, Gnawgahyde could just carry it himself and give the guy a break. But hey, let's have a look at this character. Let's give it our final reviews here. I mean, the legs, what's to be said? He's got a single knee pad, and then the weird boots. Like he's got normal boots, but again, we go back to old numbers 1 through 30 GI Joe line shin guards on there. He's got a couple of grenades on there. I think that's cool. I'm gonna fiddle with him for a second, save his life. Get back up there, you conniving double crosser. Yeah, that's about how much I cared for this one. So if I gotta give him a grade on attack grade, I'm gonna give him probably a 4 out of 5 on tack. As a poacher, he's well kitted out and everything like this. But as a poacher, carrying around a couple of pets without really telling us the story why, it just does not add up to me, and I felt like dinging him a point. I'm also dinging him a point for the ridiculous side blade roped to his wrist effect there. I think that's utterly nonsense and unnecessary. He's already carrying around 2 other knives. That is just to look cool, and it failed. But he salvages with that hat. That hat saves the day for him. Let's go over to the play grade. I'm going to give him a strong play grade. I'm going to give him at least a 4.5 on play grade. Mainly because I think the gummy bow was done specifically to improve play. Believe it or not, I think it was intentional that way. You get a monkey, you get a boar. Both have play value for sure. And you get a very big variety of weapons with them. So you got to give them that. Overall, on the je ne sais quoi, the imagination and creation grade, you're going to give him something decent here, probably around a 4. He does look good. He's a cool looking character. You know what? Forget it. Play me out.